Hello everyone and welcome back to more Seduce Me. Holy shit, it's been so long since we've last seen this franchise on my channel be active with a new episode, but as I've said once upon a time ago, we were still waiting on a epilogue, like after story episode for Damien, which wasn't out at the time when we did Matthews, but now here it is. What do you know? We finally get our Damien after story. Holy shit. Well, anyways, guys, yes, we're back with this franchise, and of course, I'm not one to leave like things incomplete, especially when it comes to my playthroughs. So here we are. You guys probably anticipated it at some point, but anyways, let's get started. This episode is called City Lights. So I wonder, are we gonna have a romantic date in the city with Damien? Perhaps. I don't know. Mayhaps. Let's just get started. Let's go. Oh yeah, and we're back here. Where was I? Where was I? Hannah? I think it was Hannah. Okay, let's go. I can never understand why, but whenever I find myself staring up into the sky at night, I always found myself lost in the moon's glow. The white and silver light just seemed to capture my attention, no matter how many stars peeked out of the darkness of space. It was impossible to tell how the moon was able to have this magic spell over me, but it was a spell I didn't think much on. After all, I had someone in my life to fill my thoughts with, and it's Damien. Yes, Damien became my everything, my star, my sun, my stars. He was so precious to me, and I couldn't dare to think of letting him go. I wanted to cherish him for the rest of my life, and my heart solidified that promise in my chest. Yes. He was the first person I would see in the morning and the last person I would see at night before going to sleep. Oh, what a wonderful life you live. My heart gave a gentle thump in my chest as I opened my eyes and stared at the man lying beside me, his hair tangled and messed about from sleep, and his cheeks pink in peaceful slumber. How on earth did I get so lucky? I don't know. Still, I was happy to know that I had finally found someone who made me feel absolutely happy, and I could only hope that I made him feel the same way. I mean, he gave up being a demon, so, you know. Yes, sleeping.
What is it?
I don't know. I'm just thinking about how lucky I am, I guess. I love you. A simple smile and chuckle never made me feel so light.
And I love you. I love you so much.
Aw. Thanks, babe. I cuddled close to Damien. It was mid-afternoon, almost night, and Damien wasn't up for writing his children's book, so we settled on watching a movie in bed before dinner. However, Damien held me closer than he usually did. Oh, okay. I didn't complain. It was just something I noticed and didn't really care to acknowledge as significant at the time. However, what he said surprised me. What?
Let's go to the city.
Okay, so, oh wow. I was right. A romantic city walk. Huh? I stared at Damien incredulously. Why did he want to go to Chicago, especially midway through the afternoon? Still, despite my confusion, Damien smiled down at me with a hopeful gaze.
Can we? The city is much prettier at night.
Indeed it is, where everything's all lit. Yeah, I couldn't say no to him. Damien carried an innocence in his eyes that always convinced me to say yes to his small request. Besides, it had been a while since we had gone to the city. Okay, and away we go. Some windy city air was due for the taking in. The city lights were always lovely to behold. City lights, flashing by. I forgot how the lyrics go. I forgot how the song goes. Sure, let me get dressed and we'll head out. Ooh, hey, it's actual city background. I'm pretty sure this is somewhere in Chicago. It took us a bit to get dressed and drive into the city. Damien had got James to teach him how to drive when we got together, and now Damien was able to get us anywhere we needed without much difficulty. Ah, that's so sweet. While Lakeshore Drive was still a terrible expressway, we were able to get to the Loop by dinner. We parked in a lot and began to walk around the city, taking in the sights of the Magnificent Mile and stopping in some new shops for a peek. It was exciting to see some of the Anderson toys being displayed in the windows of toy shops. Damien and I couldn't have been more proud of the company and Damien's brothers working behind it. Damien, look! Oh my gosh! New line! I had to stop and point at a window displayed. Posed in a beautiful dance pose were two dolls, a boy and a girl, in front of an image of a beautiful spring sky. There was even a toy tree and fence to decorate the foreground. Aw, isn't that sweet? I was very certain it was designed for tourists, yet it seemed so out of the blue. Damien stared in awe, but slowly a smile grew on his face from the sight. He placed a hand on the window and peered closer at the pair of dolls, eyes full of wonder.
That is brilliant.
Oh, is it? I don't know how it looks like, but okay, I'll take your word for it. Yeah! I looked down beneath the window and stared at the plaque, obviously meant for describing the window display. A boy and a girl meet, and the story begins under a spring sky. That is so sweet. Damien nods and looks around.
Are there any more like this window?
I don't know. Maybe. Go to Canada. Come to Canada during Christmas, during the holidays. You'll see that window display. The Bay always does. It's quite fat. It's quite nice. Let's see. I took the time to gaze over the windows of the buildings, hoping to find another like it. I knew of shops doing this for the holidays, but this one seemed to be too convenient to have just one display. I grinned as I locked my sight on another window, going around the corner towards Navy Pier. Okay, there. I gently grasped Damien's hand and led him to another window. I smiled, seeing the same pair of dolls embracing by a toy fountain. The image of the sky was darker, like the passing of time turned the sky a soft orange.
Oh, wow. What is this one?
I don't know. The plaque says, "A dream to behold, endless like water." It was insanely symbolic, especially with the fountain with them. I felt my heart squeeze in glee, remembering how I met Damien and how he confessed his love to me in the spring hidden in the mansion. Oh yes, that, yes. I remember. Dreams are endless like water, and I had indeed found mine with Damien. Ah, how sweet. And we go to a fair. Well, no, this isn't a fair. Yes, it is. It's a Ferris wheel right behind there. We continued down the block, catching windows with the same doll couple in different situations. They watched fireworks, went to the beach, and did other activities together. It was so cute and romantic that we wound up arriving at Navy Pier before we knew it. However, for some reason, the pier was empty and devoid of people. And hey, now, are you behind this? Did you set this up? Is this you all along? Is Navy Pier closed today? Damien took out his phone and checked the website, shaking his head.
No, it says it's still open.
Okay. Huh. I was flabbergasted. Navy Pier was a giant tourist attraction, yet no one was there. At my expression, Damien gave my hand a squeeze and guided me forward with him. Well, yeah, whatever. We get the whole place to ourselves.
Well, since there are no crowds, why don't we take advantage and explore by ourselves?
Exactly. Do you want to? I mean, might as well. Damien nodded, waiting for me to willingly come along for the ride. I grinned at the idea. We didn't have to wait in line for anything, nor did we have to maneuver our way through a busy tourist crowd of people. This was perfect. Yes, almost too perfect. I'm a little sketched out. Damien and I began to walk through the pier, stepping into some of the shops. To my surprise, there were people working, and they were very excited to see us come up to their shops, giving us personal attention for whatever we needed. It was strange. We also managed to catch more displays of the doll duel in similar cases. They walked through a park, played with a white cat. Were they new mascots for a brand that was spreading? I had to note their connection to Anderson Toys. I managed to catch a couple of the displays with accessories from their doll collection, like the clothes and the decorations. Did James or Matthew know about them? Did Damien? I bet this is all set up. Like this seems too pre-planned. Hey Damien.
What is it?
Did James or Matthew ever talk to you about these dolls? They're from Anderson Toys. Damien smiled and nodded.
Yeah, I know about them.
Okay, there's a hint. Well then, who are they? Us. A chuckle escaped Damien's lips before he guided me forward towards the area where the Ferris wheel was.
I'll tell you about it when we get on the Ferris wheel.
I bet it's us. I mean, that's as cheesy as it's gonna get. I grinned. While it was typical to ride the Ferris wheel when you went to the Navy Pier, something about being the only passengers seemed really exciting. Would the operators bring us to the top and let us enjoy the night sky? Well, he better, because we're going to be his only customers. I hope so. When we arrived at the gate, the operators of the wheel smiled at us and escorted us into one of the pods. It was comfy and warm, despite it being cool outside. When they shut the doors, Damien and I smiled at each other, anxiously waiting for the pod to move. Finally, the wheel began to turn, and we were slowly taken upwards. I couldn't help but be elated for the night sky we would see at the top. This is great. We're the only ones here. No one can bother us. Well, not like anybody can bother you regardless because you're in your own pod. Damien smiled before bringing out his cell phone and tapping through it quickly.
There's just one more thing that can make this perfect.
I knew it was you. I knew it was you. What's that? A selfie? Yes. Couple selfie! Oh my god, so fucking cute! I half expected him to take a selfie of us, however he handed me the phone, ushering me to look at the screen. I took it with a confused expression and looked down to see what he was presenting me. Okay, no selfie, but I still expect a selfie afterwards. Okay, what is this? I gasped. The doll duo was in front of the Ferris wheel with the boy on one knee holding up a ring and then the girl under a beautiful night sky. This is a proposal. God damn it. It suddenly hit me why the dolls were everywhere. I slowly looked up at Damien just as the Ferris wheel brought us to the top and saw him on his knee presenting a ring to me. Wow. You are a smooth operator. Oh my god.
You and I have been through so much. You've given me absolutely everything and made my story one worth telling the world. Over and over again.
So wait, we weren't married before the... What? Where does this take place? Like, when? Is it like after the second game? No. Wait. Oh, no. I feel like it's before the second game because in the second game, we were getting ready to get married to whoever we chose during that time. Okay, got it.
I want to make you as happy as you have made me. You deserve the world, and a million stories can't even begin to describe how wonderful you are.
Oh my god, you just butter my egg rolls.
I humbly ask, will you marry me?
Sure. My heart began to swell in joy and tears slowly began to fall down my cheeks. Memories of us together began to flood my thoughts, reminding me of how much we had gone through. I am just a horrible person to do these sappy things with. Like... my response, however enthusiastic I am, and on the inside I just give this like, sure. None of the tears like, oh my god, yes, I want to marry you, like, oh my god, so happy. No, none of that. I love this man. I would do anything for him as he would do anything for me, and the love in his eyes only confirmed my feelings. This was meant to be. Yes, oh my god, yes. Yeah, that's not me. I leaned forward and hugged Damien tightly, feeling him quickly slip the ring between us onto my ring finger and kiss my cheek. I was so happy I didn't know what else to say. I was going to marry the love of my life. Oh my gosh. As we pulled away, Damien leaned back and looked at the moon in the sky. It glimmered in the night, decorated with stars around its glow.
Tonight was a perfect night to see the city lights. Wouldn't you say so?
Sure. Yes. I giggled, moving to sit beside him and cuddled up to him while viewing the sky as well. Yeah, blah, blah. I couldn't agree more. I love you.
I love you too.
Ah. The night was indeed perfection. I got to see our story in the windows of Chicago, painted beautifully like a fairy tale anyone would want to experience. I felt flattered to know that the city knew our story indirectly, but my entire being began to fill with warmth at how proud Damien was to have me as his. I mean, he freaking proposed to you. He wifed you, okay? So he better be proud. I couldn't wait to spend the rest of my life with Damien. Our story would end with a happily ever after. If this is before the second game, as I would assume it is, then yeah, you got a long way to go. But anyways, that was it. Oh wow, this is very short. It was very short. Anyways, guys, I think regardless, I'm gonna leave it as a one episode kind of thing, kind of deal, as I think I did with the other guys. So yeah, that probably means I'll probably do like triple, maybe triple uploads, perhaps, depending on how much I actually get done. Because on the Ichio site of the creator, there is actually 2 other episode releases in this franchise. Damien's After Story being one of them. Another one being like a wedding episode, or I don't even know. Like I guess it's like an episode that's just dedicated to the whole like ceremony and shit like that, like with no interruptions and no other demons and other people interrupting it, because we really, yeah, the entirety of Seduce Me 2, we never got up to that point because everybody just want to get up in our business and like ruining our moments. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what the wedding episode is about. And the other episode is a versus episode, which is like we get 2 of the guys that are vying for our attention, I believe it is. So yeah, maybe you'll see that pretty soon, really soon times, because if it's anything like these like this episode where it's like really short, then yeah, I'll give more for you guys. But until then, you guys, this has been Damien's After Story. Well, no, not After Story, because this is before Seduce Me 2 timeline. So, what do you call this? Extra story? Whatever, sure. Anyways, yeah, until then, you guys, I will see you in another Seduce Me episode, extra episode. But until then, you guys, bye! I lied, you guys. You know what? After finishing up with Damien City Lights episode slash recording that I did, it was comparatively and also viewing. I went back into my playlist, my Seduce Me 2 like Demon War franchise playlist, and seeing the episodes that I did for the previous guys and stuff like. Comparatively, Damien's episode was really short. I think he's like the shortest thus far because I just realized that we didn't even have any like choices that we can go back on. It was just like a little chapter reading basically. So yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna stick this one in. Here we go, you guys. Seduced Me Happily Ever After extra episode here, like the one I've been talking about. I'm pretty sure it's gonna go through each of the guys' wedding, maybe, perhaps, maybe, yes, okay. But anyways, let's start. I don't care. I don't care. It's just too short. Oh, okay, yes. So yeah, hopefully this time around it'll be a little bit more lengthy in terms of our content because I'm pretty sure it's gonna go through each of the guys is like how we're gonna do the ceremony with them. So yeah, okay, whatever. Let's get to our wedding because we have enough interruptions with it as so far. Whatever. So the venue was set. Yay! The preparations were complete. Finally. The day has finally arrived. Was this really happening? I felt elation run through my entire body at the thought. I had waited for this day for years, and yet my mind still couldn't believe it. Yes, and you would have waited a lot more. I had to keep telling myself, yes, this is happening. You're not dreaming. Don't get cold feet now. You wouldn't want that to happen. I'm a bride. I'm a groom. I'm la bride. I'm la bride. I was going to marry. Here we go. Is this our choice? Yes. Okay, can I save? Yes. There we go. I knew it. But anyways, regardless, let's go. James. We're gonna go down the list. So James was the man I had always dreamt of marrying. He was in essence my prince come to reality. He was regal and yet he never failed to make me feel like I was the only person in the world that mattered. Could you make me feel like I'm the only girl in the world? My life had become a fairy tale and I was in the midst of my happily ever after. Oh, is this our little waiting room thing? I stood in my waiting room staring at my reflection in the mirror. I couldn't take my eyes off myself. Was I imagining myself standing there? Did I die in the demon world and was now seeing a dream instead? No, girl, you look good. No. There I stood, elegantly wrapped in a beautiful wedding gown. It was the dress of my dreams with a veil flowing elegantly behind me. I was regal and I felt joy in every fiber of my being just looking in the mirror. Like, finally, goddamn, after all the shit that we've been through, God, I deserve to be married. Diana's flower is still as healthy and magnificent as it had been the night I'd received it, adorned my head and sat gracefully in the crook of my ear. I felt my body quiver in anticipation. My soul couldn't make up its mind on how to feel. I was ecstatic, joyful, scared. Every emotion I knew of hit me all at once, and I wasn't sure how to handle myself. Just yell. I was going to walk down the aisle and see the man of my dreams at the end. All at once, every thought of today began to collide in my head. Everyone was so supportive of me and my marriage that it shook me to the core. Shook. Hashtag shook. Naomi had made us a custom wedding cake, determined to give us the best celebration with her cooking skills. Susan had organized the reception, and her family, as powerful as they were, ensured the security and safety of all the guests. Yes, because her family is tied in with the mafia. My mom helped deliver invitations and guided my pre-wedding party, unable to stop herself from crying at the thought of her child being married. Aw, Mom. Oh, Mom. My dad even designed and dedicated a line of toys from Anderson Toys in celebration. It was a doll line focused around the theme of marriage and happiness, with me and my husband as the focus figures. I knew he wasn't a man of many kind words, but I knew he poured his heart into it into it as proof of his joy for me. There. I even recalled dreams of my grandfather smiling at me, silently giving me his blessings and letting me know how proud he was to see me here. How I wished for him to stand with my family still, despite knowing he watched over me from heaven. Yeah, you got the best seat in the house, Grandpa. I felt myself shake and begin to cry. Everyone was so proud of me, I could predict my legs giving out. Well, that would be kind of embarrassing, like in the middle of walking down the aisle. And they did. Thank God I was alone. Well, better to do it now than, later, I guess. I collapsed onto the floor, holding my hand over my mouth as delighted and overwhelmed burbles escaped past my lips. This was happening. I had waited for so long. I know. Like, again, all the shit that you've been through, girl. Like, you just want to get married and live happily. But nah. Always gotta be the in-laws that give you trouble, huh? I couldn't control the rush of emotions pounding through me like a storm. My body was overthrown by my mental chaos, and I had begun to break down. Was I capable of doing this? Was I strong enough? Girl, you fought in a demon war, eh? This little wedding thing is gonna scare the hell out of you? Nah, girl, don't be a little bitch. Don't be a little bitch. Yes, I was. Of course, that's the spirit. Thinking back on it, I was strong enough to push through every obstacle in my path. I fought off a devil, stood my ground against a succubus. I had even gone to the demon world and escaped its world war to see this day come. Right? Exactly. Like, ain't nothing gonna stop you now. My life had moved me forward to this very moment, and I was a mess. And I was a mess inside. Please don't wake me up from this Please don't wake me up if this is a dream.
It's not a dream, sweetie.
Oh, Diana, I'm so glad you're here. Are you my bridesmaid? Are you like my spiritual bridesmaid? my what's it called? Maid of honor? That voice, nah, I'm pretty sure Suzu or Naomi is my maid of honor. Yeah, that voice. God, is that you? I looked up into the mirror and gasped, tears escaping me again as my eyes looked onto a familiar face in the reflection. Jesus? Diana! Oh. Oh, I'm sorry.
What are you doing on the floor? Pick yourself up. I know you can stand.
Right? And, like, stop ruining your makeup. Even though I'm sure it's waterproof mascara and all, but, like, still. Come on, girl. I frantically stood obeying her request as I stared dumbfounded at her image. But aren't you... Diana chuckled, silencing me. She looked powerful and regal in the mirror, bathed in an almost godlike light. Well, yeah, she might as well be Jesus.
I'm the queen of the demon world, my dear. I have my ways for communicating with you.
Yeah, via magical mirror, Kind of like with the... what's-it-face? The queen from Snow White. Diana. My heart began to squeeze tightly in my chest. How I wished for her to physically be here to see my wedding. Again, she's probably there spiritually.
I'll be watching, I promise.
Yep.
I've secretly waited for this day too.
I think everyone has. Like, honestly, everyone's just thinking, this poor girl, all she wants to do is just get married and live a peaceful life, but no. I watched as Diana lifted her hand and caressed the air in front of her with the back of her hand. To my surprise, I felt a slight breeze brush against my cheek in tandem, wiping it from my tears. Wiping it of my tears. Diana smiled and lowered her hand, stepping forward towards me.
May you be happy, and may fortune stand with you forever.
Aw, thanks. Can you give me like a virtual hug too? Will I feel that as well? At last, Diana leaned forward and kissed the air softly. I felt a soft, airy pressure on my forehead, causing more tears to run down my cheeks and my heart to squeeze in joy at the action. Girl, you're gonna cry your mascara off. God, stop. Slowly, she faded away from the mirror, leaving me to face my reflection, and I looked like a damn mess. My face was red, and I could hear my heart beating loudly from the emotions rushing through me. I was getting married, and the world was waiting for me. Look out, world! Here comes Hana, about to be a married woman. I took in a deep breath and let out a sigh, slowly but surely calming the nerves dancing along my spirit. As a small knock echoed from my door, I could feel my nerves attempt to kick up once again, but I closed my eyes and calmed them down with another breath. I was ready. I was going to obtain my happy ending. My happy end. That's the last thing I do. The hall was full of people, many I knew and many I didn't. I stood at the doorway leading into the space and stared at the door in front of me, imagining everyone waiting for me. My parents, my friends, the incubi, my husband-to-be. The second the doors opened would be the second my walk towards my future began. I was no longer going to be alone. I would have him standing by me as I would stand by him through anything the universe threw at us. I mean, it would be very pointless if you were like, nah, fuck this shit. Like, come on, you stood together in a demon war. Like, The doors opened at last, and I took in the beautiful sight of the wedding hall at last. Everyone stood and watched as I slowly made my way down the aisle. Music began to fill the air at my march, and gazes followed with each step I made forward. My heart began to pound in my chest. I began to imagine everyone hearing it as loud and powerful as it was. Still, I continued on. I would not stop walking until I reached the end. My gaze, however, locked itself onto my husband-to-be. He stared in awe at my approach, lost in his own thoughts. What was on his mind? I don't know. How damn beautiful I am? Probably. James visibly took a breath at the sight of me, a very soft blush painting his cheeks. Still, he smiled and maintained his regal posture, ready to stand beside me like the prince he was to me. I mean, he is quite a literal prince too, if you really think about it. As I finally reached him, James held out his hand to me. I took it in kind, walking up to stand beside him at last. At last, my love has come along. We were lucky. Kay, the owner of the Pink Lady Cafe and a dear friend, was licensed to officiate the wedding. Oh my gosh, really? Like this girl can do everything. So she took it on herself to do so without a fee of any kind. According to her, this was something she desperately wanted to do for us as a wedding gift. I'ma be your official if you officiate this wedding. I was very thankful to have her be part of my next chapter. Kay gestured to everyone behind us to sit down in the pews, clearing her throat slightly and bringing up a microphone to her lips, beginning the ceremony. Yo, 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 check it. Check it, check it.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to join these two beautiful souls in matrimony. They have supported and loved each other and have chosen to continue doing so for the rest of their lives.
Word. Standing beside James made my heart flutter in joy. I could feel our hearts synchronizing in time and our breaths slowly matching up in equal excitement. Yeah. Staring into his eyes, I became lost in my thoughts as I listened.
It is said that love is a story all on its own. Affection gives us the rising action. Our dreams give us our purpose. And we experience a world we've never imagined exploring. The best thing is, we don't have to explore it alone.
Indeed.
This moment right now is a chapter of that story. And you have many things left to write together.
Uh-huh. I smiled. She was right. This wasn't an ending by any means. This was the beginning of our life together. A life James and I would share and write for as long as we lived. And as he smiled back, I knew he agreed.
And now my favorite part. We would now like to take this time to exchange the wedding vows.
You say it as if I'm gonna I don't know, write up some next shit. Kate gestured to me, ushering me to softly clear my throat and begin. I had so many things to say to this man, I hadn't known where to begin when I first tried to write up my vow. Well, hopefully it won't be too long. However, after months of hoping and thinking, I finally knew what to say. James, you and I have been through so much. Literally, yes, a lot. You have supported me ever since we met, and our love has broken through every obstacle in our path. I cannot dream of a life without you in it. You make me happy, happier than I could ever dream of being. It was like you were sent to me as a miracle. James could only smile and listen, and I could almost hear his heartbeat wildly for me at my words, with small bubbles of tears forming at the corner of his eyes. I continued. I want to keep going through life with you as your one and only. You are my best friend, my love, my world. With you, we can reach the skies and sail forever. Just you and me. I love you. Yay, short and sweet. Kate bit her lip, obviously holding back tears, before nodding at my conclusion and turning to James. Your turn.
And now, your vow. Go ahead.
Yeah. James smiled and held my hands close, letting his gaze melt into my eyes as he spoke at last.
You are the moon, stars, and sun of my life. There is not a day that goes by where I do not think of you and how much you mean to me. You give my life so much meaning, and I am humbled to know that my love for you is reciprocated.
Easy than Italian. Sorry. It would be very impressive if he did it all in Dothraki. I slowly began to cry again. James's words melted into my heart, and I could see the love glowing in his eyes. His smile, I was truly in love.
I promise to love you and cherish you for as long as we live, and to spend the rest of my life giving you the happiness you deserve as your husband.
Oh. Just from staring into James's eyes, I could tell that our heartbeats and breaths were matched perfectly in time. There was nothing in the universe that could stop us from being happy, and this moment was picture perfect. I mean, if anything did try, you best believe I just might lose my shit. I freely let myself cry as I smiled. He did the same for me, holding my hands lovingly.
You both just made my job easier with these vows. Ooh, so, let's put on those rings.
Yes, girl! Yes! If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. Give me that ring. Kay quickly turned back to the table behind her and presented us with my ring first. With glowing pride and slight nervous quivering in his hands, James gingerly took the ring and began to slide it up my ring finger.
Please repeat after me. With this ring, I give all of myself to you. I will protect you and be with you no matter what, until time stands still.
Okay. As quick as her statements came, images of our adventures and struggles passed through my mind. We had fought a devil, foiled a succubus, and stopped the world war together, and our story was far from over. Well, foiled a succubus, but then became her best friend, her bestie.
With this ring, I give all of myself to you. I will protect you and be with you, no matter what, until time stands still.
Amen. As the ring finally crested on my finger, I couldn't help but wiggle it in glee atop James's hand, making him chuckle a bit at the feel. The band shimmered on my hand in the church light, almost entrancing me.
Excellent! Now, it's your turn.
Is it at Tiffany's? Because, Kay slowly held out the second ring for me to take. This was my moment. I quickly took the ring in excitement and began to ease it up James's fingers. And I dropped it. And then I dropped it. With this ring, I give all of myself to you. I will protect you and be with you no matter what until time stands still. One ring to rule them all. In that moment, when the ring reached its destination, I could feel the world stop around us. Something in the air felt warm and bright. It was like everything had become right in the universe, and I was able to see a future full of opportunity and bliss. I became so lost that I barely acknowledged that the ceremony was finally coming to a close, the one that I had been waiting for.
All right, awesome, alrighty then! By the power vested in me in front of your beloved friends and family, it is my honor and privilege to pronounce you two united in perfect matrimony. Let the moon shake tonight!
Okay, we're gonna shake the moon then. Oh, yeah. Yeah, why not? At last. Yes. Don't cry. Don't cry on me now. I'm gonna start crying again. I need to stop crying, really. James smiled and clasped a gentle fist over his mouth, letting his ring shine in the light between us as he softly smiled in joy. He had happily given his entire life to me, and I would hold him close forever.
Now hurry up and kiss already. You know you wanna. We want you to as well.
Yeah, okay. Come here, you. She did not have to tell me twice. With a thankful grin and a euphoric heart, I took James in my arms and kissed him with every ounce of love I could muster. Yay! Fireworks went off in my head and I could feel the world around me close, leaving only James and me in a peaceful space all on our own. Our kiss marked the beginning of a new life together, and I was happy that the next chapter would begin on my terms. Yes, they damn well will be, yes. I had a feeling that no problems would come our way, and even if they somehow did, we would have the power to get over them. If our meeting didn't prove that, then our struggles and victories would. The cameras and cheers would mark our memories in time. The bands we wore would leave their permanence. Yes, permanence on our skins. And we would fly as high as our love could take us. And truly, this was my happily ever after. No, it wasn't just mine. Our happily ever after. Okay, my bad. Sorry. This was our happily ever after. Okay, the end. Okay. Yes. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna go way back, and we're gonna just do all the other guys. So let's hold on. Hello? Oh yeah, I forgot this was there. This was one of the things that I hated. Was that okay? There we go. Load. There we go. Okay, we're going Eric! We're gonna go do Eric. As thoughts of Eric flooded in my mind, I could not help but smile. Eric made me feel like a royal in my own rights. He was happy to dedicate his life to me, as I was determined to dedicate mine to him. My charming incubus would be my husband at the end of the day. Yes. And here we are. I wonder if it's gonna be the same. Yeah, the skip button is allowing me to do it, so I'm gonna skip on ahead and probably go to the ceremony. Yes? There we go. Here's the man of the hour, looking so spiffy in his suit. I could see Eric gasp silently. His visible eyes brightened and his face turned slightly pink. As I smiled at him, Eric slowly smiled back, letting joy paint his expression despite the blush over his cheeks. Stepping up at the end of the aisle, Eric gently extended his hand out to me, and I took it in kind. A few more steps, and I finally stood beside him. And we're gonna go through this thing. Yeah. Okay. Down with the vows. Eric smiled and held my hands close, letting his gaze melt into my eyes as he spoke at last.
You are my sweet and wonderful one and only. Every day that I get to be with you is a day I will forever cherish and hold close. You know me better than anyone else in this world, and I know that we will thrive together for the rest of our lives.
Yay! I slowly began to cry. Eric's words melted into my heart, and I could see the love glowing in his eyes. His smile, I was truly in love,
I
yes.
promise to love you and cherish you for as long as we live, and to spend the rest of my life giving you the happiness you deserve as your husband.
Aw, me too, as your wifey. Yes. Well, the skip button's letting me skip? Yes. Okay, go. So with his ring, with this, oh, sorry, that was your line. With this ring I give you all, wait, it's the same vow? Is it the same vow? Yes, it's the same vow, okay. So yeah, it's the ring, and yeah, here we go, the band.
Excellent.
Yes. There we go, we have another CG with him, yay! So Eric smiled happily at me, a genuine smile of his true self. Seeing it made my heart flutter. Did we finally get to see both of his eyes? He had happily given his entire life to me, and I would hold him close forever.
Now hurry up and kiss already.
Okay,
You know you wanna.
Yes, I know.
We want you to as well.
Yes, I know. Okay, bye. She did not have to tell me twice. Yes, Sam, I'm gonna kiss you. And yeah, that's basically... Okay, wow, okay. That was essentially that. So I think the rest of it is the same. Yeah, so the rest of it was the same, and we're gonna do this over again. This is gonna go fairly quickly then, which is kind of a good thing, in a way. There we go. So... we're gonna do Sam's this time, yes. So as laughable as the phrase was, Sam's brothers often joked that I had chained the monster. Isn't that his, like, theme music or some shit like that? I mean, fucking know. Something? I don't know. It was an OST title, wasn't it? Yes. Ah! To imagine that anyone thought of Sam as a brute or as someone to be controlled was beyond me. Wait a minute, wouldn't it be different because... No, wait. Yes, it would be different because, like, in the last game, he decided to take over the throne thing, and we decided to live our lives in the demon world, yes? Ruling it, yes? Sam had become my everything, and I was going to let the flames inside of me burn bright for him forever. 5 ever. Oh. Or maybe we'll have one here in the human world, and then we'll have another one in the demon world. Wait, I think we already had one in the demon world. Yes, we did. You know it's been a long time since I last played the game when I can't get my facts straight. Anyways, okay, yeah, let's just skip. But oh yes, Diana's still talking to us in the mirror, but it stops me here. Yes, what happened? Diana chuckles, silencing me. Her smile was warm and her body was almost glowing in an unnatural ethereal light. Maybe she's talking to us from somewhere else, right?
I may no longer be of the living, darling.
Yes, oh yes.
I will always find a way to be there if you ever need me.
Yes. Canon-wise, Diana went down with Sero to the fucking sea. Yes. Damn, yeah, I forgot about that. Jesus. Diana, wow, girl, you got a nice reception down there, huh? My heart began to squeeze tightly in my chest. How I wish for her to be around to see this day.
I'm here now, sweetie. Hold no regrets.
Oh, okay. Alright, homegirl. Thank you for the pep talk. Okay, I'm gonna skip on ahead. Okay, here we go. So I could see a world of amazement run through Sam's eyes as he stared back at me. I knew the sight of me had stunned him, rendering him speechless. For a moment, I barely caught glimpses of tears forming in the corners of his eyes. Oh, you sap. Stepping up beside Sam, however, he held his hand out and guided me to the front, ready to begin the ceremony at last. Yes, we did the dust.
Dearly beloved.
Yes, dearly beloved. We gathered here today to unite this man, demon, and woman together in holy matrimony and la 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 la. So if anybody objects to this, speak now, forever hold your peace. Of course, I'm gonna beat anybody up who dares say they object because, like hell, you have any rights to be saying this to me in my church. So, Sam, you and I have been through so much. Yes, supported me and loved me, and I support you, and you love me, and it's all great, and, you know, stuff. Okay, so Sam smiled and held my hand closed, letting his gaze melt into my eyes as he spoke at last.
When I look in your eyes, I get trapped in you. You always tell me that you'll never leave me. Do you know what you do to me? Being here, standing here in front of you? It's like a fantasy. I want to never leave. Isn't that funny?
Hilarious. I slowly began to cry as Sam's words melted into my heart, and I could see that love glowing in his eyes, his smile. I was truly in love, yes.
I promise to love you and cherish you for as long as we live. and to spend the rest of my life giving you the happiness you deserve as your husband.
Okay, I believe you.
With this ring, I give all of myself to you. I will protect you and be with you no matter what, until time stands still.
Okay. And we said our vows to him. Yes, it's the same vow. Okay, so Sam and I gave each other toothy grins, showing the rings that we had placed on each other to the rest of the church in full view. Hey, check out this ring! Ain't it lit? Yeah, yo. I don't know. I don't know what diamond count is. Like, like, I guess the bigger the carat, the nicer the ring, I guess. I don't know. 25 carat. There we go. 24 carat magic in the air. Head to toe so pretty. Oh, please break out into a musical. Like, you know, Bruno Mars just appear out of nowhere and start singing this to me. Please. I want that to happen. That'd be a pretty lit wedding. Of course, it's not gonna happen though. Yeah. He had happily given his entire life to me, and I would hold him close forever. Yes.
Now hurry up and kiss.
Yes, I know. I'm gonna kiss him. Okay. Anyways, I think we kissed each other. Yes. Okay. Yes. And now we go on to who's next. Who's next on the list? I think it's Matthew. Yes, I believe it's Matthew. Yes, Matthew. I was ecstatic to marry my best friend. Matthew was funny and caring, making me happy every moment of my life. I was thankful to have him and to be his for as long as I already had. To tie the knot with him today was an adventure we would both share. And there we go. I guess it's the same dealio, so we're gonna skip on ahead because Diana didn't die this time. There we go. Okay, here we are. Matthew grinned from ear to ear at my approach. I could see him holding himself back from bouncing up and down in his spot as he waited for me. I felt giddy myself, but the ceremony had just begun. I mean, I don't care if you do. It'll be really cute. Matthew held out his hand and let me take it, walking with me and standing by my side for our officiary to speak. Yes, Kay, our lovely friend who does everything. Hey, Matthew smiled and held my hands closed, letting his gaze melt into my eyes as he spoke at last.
Where do I even begin? You're the brightest light to ever shine in my life. You've guided me through the darkest times, and now we're standing here, ready to swear our lives to each other. This is the greatest day of my life, and I hope you feel the same.
Duh. I slowly began to cry. Matthew's words melted into my heart, and I could see the love glowing in his eyes. Yes.
I promise to love you and cherish you for as long as we live, and to spend the rest of my life giving you the happiness you deserve as your husband.
Yes. Aw.
With this ring, I give all of myself to you. I will protect you and be with you no matter what, until time stands still.
Stop! My phone. No. Stop that. Who's messaging me? I'm so sorry. Everybody, take this time to please turn your phone onto silent mode, because it's quite rude for, you know, things to interrupt this, the vows and shit like that. This is why you shouldn't have your phone on during the wedding. Okay, so yes, thank you for that vow. I'm gonna skip on ahead with this yeah, we're gonna kiss. You're so cute. Look at you. Matthew smiled and held out his hands to me, ready to embrace me and hold me close like he would for the rest of our lives. He had happily given his entire life to me, and I would be.
Now hurry up and kiss.
Yes, I'm gonna kiss him. Okay, there we go. Okay, moving on to our last dude, our last brother, dude, yes, in the line, and it is Damien, yes. Damien had happily become a part of my life, as I had become a part of his. We supported each other and held each other up through everything in our lives. Even more so, he finally got to be a human alongside me. This is like me. Because I immediately did this after I did his city lights where he just proposed. It's like, it seems like we just get married the very next day. I mean, it's better than what happened with like the second game and all. So we both were living a fantasy made into reality. Oh yes. Okay, we'll skip on ahead. Get to the good bits. Anyways, Damien was openly holding back tears. Despite the joyous smile on his face, I knew that he was holding his breath. I would have too, but I was more happy to be going through this dream and to breathe in the air of excitement around me. Yes, but don't pass out. Finally, I walked up beside Damien, taking his outstretched hand and standing beside him before our officiary and starting the ceremony. Yes. Okay, so Damien smiled and held my hands close. We said our vows ready, so letting his gaze melt into my eyes as he spoke at last.
To think we'd be standing here. This is by far the best dream anyone could have, and thinking about all that we've been through, this is the most special chapter of our lives. I cannot wait to continue my story with you.
Yeah.
For the rest of my life.
Same. Ah, okay. Yes, so I slowly begin to cry again. Yes.
I promise to love you and cherish you for as long as we live, and to spend the rest of my life giving you the happiness you deserve as your husband.
Okay, thank you.
With this ring, I give all of myself to you. I will protect you and be with you no matter what, until time stands still.
Ah, thanks, babe. And I kissed the bride. Oh, and he's crying. Oh, don't cry. Damien began to cry, wiping his tears with a happy smile at me. I couldn't even stop the tears flowing down my own cheeks. It's a cry fest now. It's no longer a wedding. He had happily given his entire life, and I would hold him close forever. Yes.
Now hurry up and
Yes, of course I'm gonna kiss him. Okay, anyways, yes. So there we have it. There you go. So that's our Seduce Me wedding. Yay! We finally got to see what the whole ceremony was like. And yeah, so nothing much has really changed other than like the only variance we had was with Sam. But I like the touch that the creator did where we get to choose either we want it to be the bride or the groom. So, you know, everyone is included in this lovely event. Yay! Anyways, yes, so there we go, you guys. I think, you know what, okay, this is as far as I'm gonna do it. Okay, so I'm gonna put in City Lights, Damien's extra episode, as well as this Seduce Me Happily Ever After wedding episode together. But in terms of the last episode, which is the versus episode, I feel like I'm gonna leave that as a standalone episode for now, I guess. Yes, I feel like it because yeah, I mean, I feel like it'll take too long. This will become really long if I did squish it in here. So anyways, yes, so it all fits nicely because, you know, Damien proposed and now we're at the wedding. Except we have, you know, 4 other guys to go through. But anyways, whatever, it was a very lovely event. I love it. Anyways, so until next time, you guys, I'll see you in another episode of Seduce Me. But for now, bye!